work. I was on a roll. Hey yo, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer parent things. This week I'm going to discuss how I talk to my kids about me and, well, working from home. A little bit of a disclaimer in that I can only talk about my experiences with my kids, and I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion claiming to be an expert on all the children everywhere. Let's hop into the video, shall we? Oh, quick side note, as of this video, my kids are between the ages 5 and 8. When I started pursuing my platform and thus working from home, my kids were all on the younger side, and kind of still are. This makes explaining working to them a little tricky because sometimes they get it, and it's clear as day that they get it. And then other times, it's pretty clear that they don't actually understand. And I internally struggle with the guilt of not wanting them to feel like my videos or my books or anything is more important than they are, because at the end of the day, it's not. But sometimes I do need to prioritize meeting deadlines or getting my work done before playing with them. Now, I am not claiming that I'm going to get it right every time or handle it perfectly all the time. I mean, fuck. I'm probably going to fuck up again this week. I'm human. It's just something that happens. Parenting is trial and error. It's a high-risk juggling act. And the more balls you throw in there for writing or YouTube or anything makes the juggling act trickier. I'm going to try my best to break down the different kinds of working from home that I do and how I try to explain it to my kids, or how my kids sort of figured it out on their own. I'm going to go ahead and start with the one that's easiest for me, and that would be YouTube, because my kids love YouTube videos. From music videos with their favorite songs to educational videos that help them learn colors and numbers to Let's Players and toy unboxings that lead to discussions of, no, you can't have every toy that you see on YouTube. Do you have toy money? And then gives me flashbacks to, no, you can't have every toy on commercials. Do you have toy money? Huh. Well, this all meant that my kids already had a concept of YouTube and YouTube creators because, well, they have their favorite creators. Now, I gotta admit, when I first started my channel, my pre-production was an absolute mess. I was going to work a convention the month that I was launching, so I wanted some videos in the bank. It had been like 10 years since I edited a video. Everything was rushed. I was running to my sister's house to do it because she had a better desktop than I did. And I mean, I didn't stop to talk to the kids about it. They had no idea what I was doing. All they knew at the time was that I was working on my laptop a lot, and then I would go away to Nano Witches and come home and be a little tired. Now, I didn't handle it very well. However, after coming back from the convention and getting into a better routine, plus getting a better laptop, I was able to start editing my scripts and my videos from home. My oldest, the little sneaky investigator that he is, started paying attention to what I was doing on my laptop, and he realized I was editing videos. I remember one day he just looked at me and he was like, "Mommy, are you making videos?" And it like slapped me in the face right then and there that, well, no, duh, you should have told them you were doing this a couple months ago. So I went ahead and pulled up my channel and then I showed it to them. I told them that Mommy makes videos about writing and being a mommy. They were so excited. All three of them wanted to subscribe immediately. Sometimes I'll hear them talking about my videos in the other room and it warms my heart. Because they got the concept of me making videos so quickly, it was not difficult at all to just explain that when I'm writing scripts, it's because sometimes Mommy forgets what she's going to say, or that Mommy talks a lot and goes off on tangents, so scripts help her not do that. Which they all seem to accept because they know that Mommy talks a lot. Although our oldest does try to read over my shoulder a lot, which drives me absolutely bonkers. But I guess at least he's reading. Now, I didn't really have to explain to them the recording process either because I record them at birthday parties and when we go to trips to the zoo and everything. I'm really big into trying to immortalize memories with a camera. Some nights while I'm recording, they'll wander downstairs and then come over here and be on camera for a little bit till they, half asleep, abandon me back to bed. They actually really love to be on camera, but they never know what to do, so it's kind of adorable, and that's why I like to put them in the outtakes on occasion. Which, speaking of outtakes, they're actually really interested in the editing part of the video process as well. When I'm working on a video on my laptop, they like to sit around me and watch me cut the clips or move the clips over, and they like to see me add the transitions. When I have outtakes with them in it, I'll even let them watch them and pick which part of the outtakes they want me to keep. However, while they have an interest in it, they also don't necessarily have an appreciation for just how much time it can take to edit a video. Because if they want my attention and they don't want to wait for it, they'll sit there and whine at me and tell me how it's taking forever and hours for me to finish editing a video. But as with anything that's taking hours and hours and hours, I just try to reinforce that patience is a thing and they should, well, wait. Bottom line is that showing them behind the scenes was probably the absolute easiest way for me to convey to my kids just what I am doing. And I also just really love involving the kids in a lot of things that I do because who knows, maybe it will spark some sort of passion that they have. And even if it doesn't, it's still fun. The other thing that I've started doing on YouTube is streaming, which, again, I didn't think to just explain to the children what I was doing. I just told them that I was working. And, yeah, by now I should really just know that explaining everything out to them is the best way for them to understand anything. It seems so simple, yet so easy to forget to do in the moment. It's like, I told you I was working, so obviously I'm working, but working is actually really vague and doesn't convey any of what I'm actually doing. I forget which stream it was, but our youngest came up to us and she was like, "What you doing?" And it was then I had the dull light bulb moment, which is what I call anytime I have an epiphany that really should have been obvious in hindsight. I showed her my laptop and explained that I would be on YouTube. And she asked if I was making one of my videos, and I said, "Kinda, I'll be on YouTube live." And she immediately went to run and tell her brothers, who also came to investigate, and I showed them both. Which, to be clear and transparent, I don't think any of them actually got what live was at that moment, because a few weeks later, they pulled up one of my live videos and ran upstairs and downstairs and then upstairs and downstairs and kind of realized it was in real time. In retrospect, we could have set up one of the TVs to do that the same day and they would have understood sooner, but like I said, some things are just more obvious after the fact. And I don't always handle everything perfectly. Also, as of last week, my oldest has figured out that if he comes in and bugs me during the live stream, when the videos go up later, he can go back and watch himself on the video. So that's a thing I have to deal with now. Bottom line here that I suggest is if anybody's trying to explain what live streaming is or that they are live streaming to their kids, just pull it up on the TV. The easiest way. I saved author for last because that's kind of the hardest one for me to explain to them. I mean, they know what books are. They love books. They even love to make books. My table is covered in the casualties of their cutouts and gluing and coloring. Yet, I explained to them that I'm writing a book. I show them the computer screen and that I'm typing words and whatnot. And I mean, honestly, they say they get it, and it's probably mostly an age thing. Like my 5-year-old, she's at a point where she wants to show me everything she's doing every 5 minutes, which would be fine, but that's really bad when you're trying to get a writing flow going. And while the other two don't need me quite so frequently, they still have no qualms about just bursting in going, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy," because they want to show me something that just happened in a game or a cool video they just found or something like that. Which, once again, is fine and not really that big a problem, but when I'm trying to focus on writing, it does make things harder. I still try though, just about every time I try to remain calm and explain to them that I am writing and that I don't want to be disturbed because I need to focus. When I get feedback back from CPs, they have noticed that there's red lines or comments, and I will explain to them that those are parts of Mommy's story that her writing buddies think she can write even better. Which right now, my oldest translates to, everybody loves Mommy's story, and all of these comments are just telling me how good my story is, and well, that would be super, super nice. But I do try to explain to him that not all of the comments are necessarily this is good, but he just lives in his own little world sometimes. Most importantly to me though, no matter what I'm working on, no matter what I'm doing, I desperately try to avoid phrases like mommy's too busy right now, or leave me alone, or I don't have time. Instead, I try to phrase things like mommy can't help you right now, but I can do it later. Or mommy really needs to finish this, and so maybe after I finish. I don't really have anything to back this up other than this is my way of letting them know that while I'm not at their beck and call every moment of the day, I still will make time for them. Now, I will admit I get frustrated or I get impatient, and I will say things like, you have another parent, or mommy's not the only one who can pour juice into a cup. I will admit that I do get frustrated, and I will say things like, you have another parent, or mommy's not the only one who can pour juice into a cup, which I guess isn't too bad because they just find it funny, or they'll like give me an exasperated sigh and go to their father. And also, in my husband's defense, he is more than willing to parent while I work, and he does do a lot of the parenting while I work. It's just I'm the stay-at-home parent, so the kids default to me. Like literally, my husband and I can be sitting in the same room and they'll just immediately come to me. Even when he tries to run interference, he can't always stop it before they're like, mommy, and my attention is distracted. I mean, kids, you can't control who they're gonna ask. All right, everybody, that's all I got for you this week. Thanks for sticking around this long through the video. I'm still hosting live streams on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And remember, folks, if you're curious about whether or not I can write, you can either check out my flash fiction on my website at samanthaalnasset.com. If you'd prefer to just stalk my social medias, you can check out my Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, or Facebook at Samantha L. Nasset. If you liked this video, maybe give it a thumbs up and comment down below. You could even subscribe and ring-a-ding that bell, or there will be a video card with video suggestions somewhere. I post new videos every Wednesday, and I hope to see you soon. Sam out. How did I phrase it?